Good morning, happy Friday. Welcome to Coffee Chat, which this morning is actually water chat. And in a minute, you're gonna know why this is more apropos for us today, because we're gonna be talking about pandemic pounds. All right, so whether it's the Quaran-ten, which is what I'm calling mine because I've gained 10 pounds in 6 weeks, or the Quarantine 15, which you've probably seen tons of memes about. We're gonna talk about that today. And I just wanna be super clear about this, all right? So, you know, I'm all about body positivity, and I don't think a number on a scale should define any portion of our self-worth whatsoever. So I want to be super clear about this. This is not about weight loss. So even though I've gained 10 pounds in 6 weeks, this is not a coffee chat about weight loss, because those 10 pounds are really just vanity pounds for me. And they represent a bigger issue, which is more about my health than it is about weight. So just want to throw out the disclaimer, this is a place of grace, not shame. So we have been through a lot these past 6 to 8 weeks, and I just want us to all give ourselves grace. So if you are struggling, if you have gained weight, just know that why wouldn't you, right? A lot of us are emotionally eating right now. It's exactly why I've gained 10 pounds. I'm eating for a couple of reasons. Number one, I go to the kitchen because I'm bored, and I open the refrigerator just to give myself entertainment. I'm not hungry. I'm just going there to get snacks because it's entertainment for me. So my daughters and I keep saying the same quote over again from, I think it was from The Grinch, the Jim Carrey version of it, where he says, "Am I just eating because I'm bored?" Well, yes, we are. But we're also emotionally eating for other reasons. And one of those main reasons is that it's for comfort. And honestly, I've been doing a lot of comfort food eating. I have been baking. I have been cooking. My daughter Aubrey loves to bake. We've been eating way more sweets than we ever eat. And I don't even crave sweets. I'm a salty fried foods kind of person, but I've really been craving sugar lately. So I know that this comfort food thing is coming from, a deeper reason. And we have been reaching for the comfort food more and more often lately. So anyway, again, if you're in this position, if you're feeling this way, give yourself some grace, cut yourself some slack. My gosh, of course, this is what we're doing. I love food. I'm not going to lie. I love it. Some people eat to live. I live to eat. I start thinking about lunch as soon as breakfast is over. I love meticulously planning meals and making beautiful dishes and just savoring food. I absolutely love it. So this is an area for me where I can probably get myself into a little trouble if I'm not making good choices, because I just love to eat and I think about food all the time. So today I'm going to talk to you about the Quarantine 15 or the pandemic pounds or whatever, but we're going to approach it from a standpoint of let's hit the reset button. It's May, summer's right around the corner. I understand that many of us won't be laying out at pools this summer. Maybe we won't be going on vacations. Who knows what the summer brings? But I know for me personally, I've been feeling really sluggish lately. If shorts are any indicator, I'm a pear shape or a triangle shape. So those 10 pounds are all south of the border for me. And none of my shorts from last year fit. Being totally honest, I tried them on yesterday. It was not a good thing. I could not get them buttoned. I don't want to go out and buy all new shorts this year. So I know that it's time for me to hit the reset button, more so from the standpoint of how it's affecting the way I feel. And I haven't felt great lately. So I'm just being totally honest with you about this topic. And I want to handle it with sensitivity too. And know that if you're not ready to hit the reset button yet, that's okay. You don't have to right now. If you still are wanting to, go to those comfort foods, if that's what you need right now in this season, know that there's a season ahead where you will be able to hit the reset button. So cut yourself some slack on that. All right. Having said all that, I'm gonna pull out the glasses because I gotta make sure that I'm reading my notes and I don't get lost. All right, so we're gonna talk today about my 5 baby steps. And you've probably heard me talk about this before. If you've been around Get Your Pretty On for a while, every time we go on vacations, or I feel like, over the holidays is another time I have to do this, where I have to really just start my baby steps again because I get just all off the rails and things get completely out of control. And if I just come back to this every single time, it helps me to gradually ease back into doing the things that are honoring my body and that I know I should be doing. So we're going to talk about those today. And these are steps that you can layer in one at a time. You can do it a day at a time. You can do it a week at a time. Heck, you can even do it a month at a time. It doesn't matter as long as you're doing it and as long as you're making the new habits and holding yourself accountable for these. So if you want accountability partners though, I highly encourage you to join the Get Your Pretty on Pretties group. We're in there talking about a lot more than just style. This is a Facebook group. It's Get Your Pretty on Pretties. Go look it up now. We have over 11,000 members. We're talking style. We're talking beauty. We're talking hair coloring. We're talking nails. We're talking pandemic pounds. We're talking about everything. So get over there, join the conversation. But that's a great place for accountability. I also have this handy dandy healthy habits tracker I'm going to talk to you guys about today. You can download this. It is a printable. And if you want something that's going to help you with accountability and with tracking, this is a great thing to use for that. I actually had my graphic designer whip this up along with instructions on how to use it, but I'm going to be honest, it was for me. I wanted a nice little tracker that I could use too. And I was like, cool, this is something I can share with the community. So feel free to go ahead and download that. It is at getyourprettyon.com/healthy tracker. So getyourprettyon.com/healthy tracker. You can check out this download. But let's talk about the baby steps. So these 5 baby steps are, again, the things I told you I kind of layer in over time. So when we get back from a vacation, I feel like I'm totally off the rails. You know, after the holidays, I feel like I need to hit the reset button, or during a pandemic. Let's add a new thing to the list, where I really feel like I have been not making the best decisions when it comes to my health. Then these are the things that help me really just get back on track and to help make it a habit again. So number 1 on this list, this is not going to come as a surprise to you, but it's drink more water. So I tend to drink a lot of coffee. I tend to drink a lot of tea, but drinking water is a problem area for me because I want to drink coffee and tea. I love the caffeine. I love the way it tastes. I live for coffee. Oh, I live for coffee. If Craig gets up before me in the morning, I'm like, you got to hit start on that coffee maker. If you get up, I have the timer set on it, but if he gets up before the timer goes off, then I want him to hit start on the coffee maker because I reach for my coffee the second I get out of bed. So this is a problem area for me. I know that I have to get a lot of water in and I want to get started on it as soon as possible. So I have my 3-ish cups of coffee in the morning, and then I try to switch over to water and try to get my water intake in at the beginning of the day. So baby step number 1 is going to be drink more water. And you can layer this in over time. I try to aim for 64 ounces a day. There are also apps that you can download. I don't know one off the top of my head, but you can look them up if you want to track your water intake. I think MyFitnessPal, you can track water intake in there as well as what you're eating in a day. But just upping my water instantly makes me feel healthier. I don't know what it is about it, but if I up my water intake for 3 days straight, I feel like I have more energy, my focus is better, and overall, I just don't feel as sluggish when I'm drinking enough water. Time for a sip. So, baby step number 1 is drink more water. Baby step number 2 comes down to food intake. So, I start small, and by starting small, I try to cut out my snacks or replace my snacks with healthier snacks. So, for instance, what was I snacking on last week? Something not so good for me. Potato chips. It was potato chips. I love kettle chips. So I decided that I was going to cut out my snacking on potato chips before I went to bed and replace it with something healthier. So I got little 100-calorie packs of almonds. I have yogurt that I snack on, which, by the way, this is just a random thing that I just thought of that popped in my head. I finally got my lactose intolerance validated last week. I went in for some allergy testing and I am 100% lactose intolerant, which I've known since 3rd grade. I haven't drank cow's milk since I was 8 years old. And I don't know about you, but when we were in elementary school, they made us drink those little cartons of milk every day at lunch. And I remember one day drinking my little carton of milk because my teacher would pick it up and shake it and make sure we drank it, and going out on the playground and throwing up afterwards. And one of my friends in my class, Michelle, said, I think you have lactose intolerance. And I was like, what is that? And she said, well, I have it. And I have a note from my doctor that says I don't have to drink my milk carton anymore. I don't really remember how I got around drinking the milk. I think I gave it to somebody else in my class from that point forward, but I never drank the milk again from that point on in my life. So I haven't had cow's milk since then, but I have been able to tolerate most other things like yogurt and cheese, but I can't tolerate ice cream at all. It's a bad thing. But anyway, that's a tangent I got off on. Anyway, I have replaced my unhealthy snacks with healthier snacks, and I'm trying to cut back on snacking between meals also, or having a cup of blueberries or doing something else that's going to cure that sugar craving without me going off the deep end and really having the very, sugary foods or salty fried foods in their place. So, I start with cutting out my junk food or replacing my snacks with healthier snacks. Then I start to layer in more whole foods. So if you're out shopping, think about shopping the perimeter of the grocery store. That's where your whole foods are going to be. They're not going to be the processed things that are in the boxes in the center sections or in the freezer section of the grocery store. So stick really to, your produce and your dairy, if you can tolerate it, and your meat section if you're a meat eater. I've also been trying to switch to more plant-based, which has been interesting. I'm still eating chicken and fish, but am trying to slowly transition, and that's been interesting as well. But anyway, baby step number 3 is exercise, move in your body, aim for at least 20 minutes a day of something that you love. Maybe that's just taking a walk. And you know what? I'm going to tend to say this, and this is very unscientific, and this is just based on observation, but I think that people have been more active since the pandemic. I see people walking all the time and jogging outside, and maybe they were doing it in gyms before, I don't know, but I myself have been more active since the pandemic, and still have continued to gain weight because you can absolutely eat your way through any workout, meaning you can more than eat the calories that you burn during a workout, and I am proof of that. But find something that you love, something that you enjoy. If you've never loved exercise in your life, there's something out there, whether it's shooting hoops with your kids or just taking a nice leisurely stroll with your dog or dancing. Dancing is fun, right? Most people love dancing. Not the uncoordinated people like me, but a lot of people do. But that's a good way to get in your 20 minutes of exercise a day. I've also been doing Orange Theory at home workouts. You guys know I love Orange Theory. It has been life-changing for me. I've never been an athletic person. I've always hated running, but Orange Theory made me feel like an athlete and gave me so much confidence. And I really feel like that was something that was missing. And they've been doing these at-home workouts that have been amazing. And I've been doing those again. I've been running. Our treadmill broke, okay? So we've had the same treadmill for 20 years. And to tell you how old this is, we bought it at Sears 20 years ago. This sucker was still working up until last week. And Craig was running on it, and I heard something go clunk. And we all ran upstairs and thought that he fell off the treadmill, but he didn't. It just broke. So, I asked him for a new one for Mother's Day, and I'm hoping he comes through because I miss my treadmill, and I am not an outside runner. It doesn't work for me. But anyway, exercise, aim for 20 minutes a day. So that's baby step number 3. We've got water, we've got food. We're going to cut our snacks out or replace them with healthier ones. We're going to eat more whole foods, and then we're going to exercise more. And again, this is all in my download at getyourprettyon.com/healthy tracker. You're going to get this little tracker, and all of the notes that I am sharing in this coffee chat are going to be in there too. Okay. Step 4 is sleeping. So raise your hand if your sleep has been disturbed since all this has been going on. I'm going to raise both hands. I have trouble sleeping as it is, and this has not helped. I've been having crazy wild dreams. I've heard a lot of people are having the same. I've been waking up tons of times at night. It's been hard for me to stay on the same sleep schedule, and when you get your sleep schedule screwed up, you screw up your circadian rhythms, and it's really hard to get a good night's sleep. So try to aim for the same bedtime every night and the same awake time every day. And I know that this is thrown off for a lot of us, especially if you're not having to travel to be in an office, if you're not having to get up and have the kids ready for school. There's so many factors that are just throwing our sleep schedules way, way off. So try to get back into a good rhythm with your sleeping, going to bed at the same time every night, waking up at the same time every morning. Aim for 8 hours of sleep a night, not a whole lot more, not a whole lot less. and you're gonna feel a whole lot better. So you can put sleep on here as one of your habits that you wanna track. You can put water, exercise, food, sleep, and track all of this in the spreadsheet. All right, next up, number 5 of my baby steps is meditation time. And I'm just making this a big bucket category, and I labeled it meditation, but really it's gonna be anything that fills your soul. You can make this time your prayer time, your journaling time, your reading time, your time that you just sit on your front porch and chill out in the sun for a few minutes. But I think it's super important for us to carve out this time each day, and many of us have more time now that we can focus on this. I start every single morning of my life the same way, with my cup of coffee, number 1. Number 2, I have my Jesus time, and that is my time when I read my daily devotionals. I type up in my prayer journal. I've been keeping a prayer journal for at least 10 years. It's an electronic Word document that I keep on my laptop, and I have over 1 million words in that prayer journal. And the amazing thing about it is that I can go back and do a search on different dates. Like, for instance, today's May 8th, so I can go back and search May 8th for the past 10 years and see what's going on in my life and see all the ways that God has been faithful to me over and over and over again. So if you're not doing a journaling practice, it doesn't have to be a prayer journal, but I highly recommend it. It's just a great way to reflect. And journaling is really important during this time too. I think that doing my journal has really helped me to process the emotions going on around the pandemic and has helped me out with that a lot. So this is gonna help you clear your mind. You can paint. I bought some watercolors and some canvases, and it's a hot mess because I can't paint, but it's very soothing to me, and I've been enjoying that. So find something that's going to fulfill your soul and track it. That is just as important as the water intake, as the food intake, as the exercise, as all these other things for helping us to process and emotionally get through this time. There are other ways to seek comfort and to fill those emotions. And if you're taking care of your body and your mind and your spirit, then you're definitely going to navigate this time so much better than you would if you are not doing those things. And I know the temptation for many of us is to reach for the things that, you know, are bringing us the temporary comfort. And I promise you, if you just hit the reset button and layer in these baby steps over time, that you're gonna feel a lot better. Remember, you don't have to make all the changes at once, because the best way to eat the elephant is one bite at a time. And these changes are things that you can do slowly and progressively. Maybe you just up your water intake for a week. Maybe then the next week you also add in the cutting out of the junk food. And then the next week you add in eating more whole foods. And the next week you add in exercise. And then after that, aim for more sleep. And then after that, you layer in the time that's going to fill your soul. So however you want to do this is totally up to you. The tracker is designed so that you can do it however you want to, whatever works for you. So download it at getyourprettyon.com/healthy-tracker, and then join us in our Facebook group at Get Your Pretty On Pretties, and we can talk about this together. All right, thanks for tuning in this Friday. I hope you all have an amazing and wonderful weekend. And don't forget to drink your water today. I'll see you back here next Friday. Bye.